After the uneventful sightseeing day preceding the previous restless sleep, we returned to our beds again at the resort, hoping that sleep would provide an escape from the eerie atmosphere. Yet, as we lay there, it felt like there was a presence in the room, a subtle movement that we couldn't see but could sense. I slept on the right side of the bed, with a small table and a lamp at the head of the bed. On my right, the bathroom wall was within arm's reach, and the space between the bed and the bathroom wall was just wide enough for someone to stand. As I lay there, I felt as though someone was walking near my bed. It was as if a mysterious figure had entered the room and approached me. The figure moved closer until it stood next to my bed, obscuring the light from the lamp. It was so strange, even with my eyes closed, I could sense the sudden darkness. In drowsy state, I assumed it was my sister coming to retrieve something from my backpack. Annoyed, I turned away, saying, "If you need something, go ahead, but why are you blocking the light?" It was as if someone was there, standing right next to me, but when I opened my eyes, there was no one. The bed remained firm and untouched. It was as if our unseen visitor had never been there. I was puzzled and uneasy, and that sense of dread still lingered. But then, I noticed something peculiar. In the mirror across the room, I saw a faint, dark shadow, not our own reflection. It seemed to stand on the bed, casting a long, eerie silhouette. I turned to my companions, Pine and Pipayan, who were sitting nearby. My uncertainty was evident as I shared my experience with them. They assured me, but the unease remained. Pine playfully suggested that I had been sleepwalking and muttering in my sleep, trying to rationalize the strange events. I pressed for answers, asking if anyone had walked near my bed. My siblings denied any movement, and I decided to put aside my concerns. Despite our attempts to dismiss the eerie encounter as a dream, the inexplicable feeling persisted, etching itself in our memories. We couldn't shake the belief that something unusual had occurred that night. When the morning came, with some trepidation, we tried to enjoy the rest of our time, vowing not to dwell on the strange encounter. But little did we know, the events of that night were just the beginning of our mysterious adventure. Pine, keen to lighten the mood, suggested we head out for lunch. We gladly agreed, eager to leave our room behind. As we prepared to venture out, we encountered another strange occurrence that would send shivers down our spines. Pine and Pipayan went to their respective rooms to get their stuffs, leaving me alone with my sister. But before we could leave, we were startled by a sudden knock on the door. My sister opened it, revealing Pine and Pipayan. Their arrival had been so sudden that we let out an involuntary scream, caught off guard by their unannounced presence. They, too, seemed shocked by our reaction. Despite our strange experiences, we attempted to put our fears aside as we headed out for lunch and a walk along Patong Beach. The streets were alive with music and dancing. We explored the vibrant scene until the night began to fall. As we returned to our room, we tried to banish thoughts of the eerie encounter, fearing the creeping sense of paranoia. We showered, refreshed our makeup, and watched some television to prepare for a night out. Pine and her boyfriend joined us, and we set off for the beachfront. The night was filled with music, laughter, and dancing as we ordered a tower of beer and joined in the festivities. The live music in the bar was delightful, and the energy was contagious, with foreign tourists dancing and having a blast. We danced in our seats, but we couldn't help but notice Pine, who was uncharacteristically quiet, sitting with her eyes closed. We were puzzled and tried to rouse her spirits, but she remained unresponsive. She finally explained that she was just tired, dismissing our concerns. Her sudden sleepiness in the middle of a lively pub seemed odd, but we decided to focus on enjoying the night. As the night wore on, we decided to call it a night and go back to the room. But Pine's behavior still perplexed us. She appeared completely fine as we stopped by a convenience store, and we attributed her drowsiness to the alcohol, which left us all feeling a little tipsy. When we arrived at our room, we quickly attended to our business and showered, hoping to wash away the strange feelings that had plagued us. Our fear was masked by the comforting embrace of sleep, thanks to the influence of alcohol. However, not all of us share this comfort that night. Pinay's later revelation on the way back from Phuket would leave us in a state of shock. We are about to enter a realm of chilling encounters that would test the boundaries of our understanding, and here is her story. Despite the vibrant atmosphere, she couldn't shake the overwhelming sadness that seemed to linger in the air. Laughter and music mixed with a haunting undertone, as though someone, somewhere, was in pain. Pinay's keen senses had picked up on the disconcerting atmosphere, but she tried her best to enjoy the night, not wanting to dampen the mood for her friends. The peak of her eerie experiences occurred within the confines of the lively pub. She and her companions were engrossed in the music, surrounded by exuberant foreigners reveling in the vibrant atmosphere. But Pinay couldn't escape the feeling that something was amiss.